they always said I'm wrong, but what they doing today? I think they want me gone, but I ain't going away. They told me I was wrong, but look at my ass today. Da 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 da.
Alright guys, what's going on? I'm Tim Kelly of TheRealSportsTalk.com. Thank you for tuning in. Check out Akeem Balaam of The Real Sports Talk. Check out his Monday Morning Realist column on TheRealSportsTalk.com, where he goes through every single NFL game and discusses his thoughts on it. Two big AFC teams lost key players yesterday due to injuries. They did win, and that's the Broncos and the Patriots. The Broncos were able to defeat the San Diego Chargers, and the New England Patriots were able to defeat Andrew Luck and the Indianapolis Colts. But both of them lost key players to their team for a decent amount of time, so I'm going to discuss both of those right now. Let's begin with the Patriots losing Rob Gronkowski yesterday. Gronkowski had another huge game. He's been probably the best tight end this year in the NFL. Either him, Jimmy Graham, or Tony Gonzalez. They've been the three best tight ends in the NFL to this point, I believe. And he had another solid game, 167 yards receiving, I believe, which, I mean, it's just incredible how many more pass-catching tight ends we're seeing and how they're racking up yards bigger than most of the elite wide receivers at this point. But anyway, Rob Gronkowski had that huge game, and then on the last score, the last time they scored, he was in there, as usual, blocking for a field goal, and he broke his forearm. He's going to be out a few weeks, according to the Patriots. NFL.com says that before the surgery that he had today on his forearm, he said that he told people he would be out 4 to 6 weeks. We don't know how long he's going to be out, but quite honestly, the Patriots don't have a ton of competition in that division. Now, seeding-wise, they do need to continue to win games, but if it's about getting to the playoffs and having the most success once you get to the playoffs, I think it makes sense to let Rob Gronkowski sit out as long as he needs to get healthy. I think bringing him back week 17, week 16 in that area makes a lot more sense than rushing him back earlier than he's ready. And quite honestly, week 16 or 17 still might be a little bit early, so maybe you wait till the playoffs to bring Rob Gronkowski back. The thing that's fortunate for the Patriots is they will get Aaron Hernandez back likely next week. He hasn't played since week 7. They'll get him back, and they always have great depth at the tight end position. George Godsey, their tight ends coach, is actually, I believe, the uncle or cousin of Justin Godsey, who's one of the hosts on this show, and he has done a great job with working with the tight ends there, whether it's Rob Gronkowski or Aaron Hernandez. And then they have a few other options. Jake Ballard, who they acquired from the Giants on a waiver claim, he's out for the season. But they do have the options of the veteran Visanthe Shenko, and they also have Daniel Fells, who has actually put together a pretty good season. He is a fifth-year man out of California Davis. He's been with the Broncos last year. He had a pretty solid season. He was with the Rams, I believe. He's had a pretty decent career. He's 29 years old. He is likely to be the guy that gets the first crack at Rob Gronkowski's spot. They do have Visanthe Shenko on, and it's very possible that you could see stats that you could see both of them utilized during the game. Aaron Hernandez is obviously going to be the first guy, but if one guy's playing better or they're both playing well, you could see both of them used for however long Rob Gronkowski's out, at least, I would say, 4 or 5 games. So there's that option for the Patriots. I think the Patriots are still in a situation where they're one of the best teams in the AFC. They're all right now. But we saw what happened with an unhealthy Rob Gronkowski. Look, if Rob Gronkowski's healthy last year, the Patriots win that Super Bowl. Even if he's just healthy enough to dive and make the catch on the Hail Mary last year, they would have won the Super Bowl. Instead, they lost. Rob Gronkowski was out partying last night, and he caught a lot of heat for that. I think Rob Gronkowski needs to be healthy if the Patriots are legitimately going to make a run at the Super Bowl. I think that he has become the second best player on that team's offense. By far, I think he's passed Wes Welker as the #1 option in the receiving game. So they're going to need him to be healthy if they're going to really make a run at winning Tom Brady's 4th Super Bowl. That's why I say let him sit out as long as you can. It may cost you having a bye in the first week of the playoffs, but you have a much better chance of going and playing 3 games to get to the Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl that way with a healthy Rob Gronkowski, then rushing him back, having that bye, and playing with a Rob Gronkowski at 60 or 70%. I think you have a much better chance to win 4 games with a healthy Rob Gronkowski than 3 games with an unhealthy or 75% Rob Gronkowski. The other big injury was sustained by Broncos running back Willis McGahee, who this year has had another solid season. I thought he was done when he left Baltimore, but he's put together a few really nice seasons. He's ran for 731 yards this year on 167 carries. He's had a really nice year again. The thing that isn't as crushing about if this had happened last year they had Tim Tebow, so they really needed that running game to be effective. Peyton Manning, on the other hand, Peyton Manning didn't have a running game in Indianapolis for a long time, and he was still very successful. Peyton Manning is going to be the comeback player of the year, although Adrian Peterson is giving him a run. But Peyton Manning is going to be the comeback player of the year, potentially the MVP. You have another option there on that offense that can pretty much play, can take away. You don't need those rushes for them to be as successful. Now, I think, again, once it gets to the playoffs, you're going to need Willis McGahee if this team is going to make a run at the Super Bowl. McGahee sustained a torn MCL. He's out, or he's on crutches for a month. After that, he may try to push it back, it sounds like. John Fox said he's a quick healer and they're not going to try to prolong the injury any longer than it takes. Supposedly he's out 6 to 8 weeks. I think it's likely we see him back either week 17 or whenever their first playoff game is, because he's going to try and push it. He's getting up there in age for a running back, and he understands that these type of opportunities do not come every year. I don't think he's ever been on a team that's been this good. He's never been to a Super Bowl with either Buffalo or the Ravens, so he has an opportunity here to go chase that elusive Super Bowl, and I think he's going to do that. Now, he doesn't need to rush back to the point where he gets where he re-aggravates the injury. I don't think he needs to rush back week 14 or 15 once that 4 weeks is up and he's off crutches. I think when doctors say don't put weight on it immediately, they probably mean that. But I think it's extremely unlikely he is out 8 weeks, and I think it's almost unlikely he's out 6 weeks. I think he's out more 5 weeks. The other options that the Broncos have are Ronnie Hillman, who is he's likely going to be the starter now. He's a rookie who has run for 188 yards this year and has averaged 3.8 yards per carry. They also have Lance Ball and the biggest bust that no one talks about, Sean Moreno, the running back out of Georgia. So they have a few other options. In the end, I tend to think they'll utilize Hillman and Ball a little bit, but for the most part, you're going to see them just throw the ball even more than they already have been. Those are the 2 big injuries that come out of NFL Week 10. Let me know what you guys think. Can these teams really contend without these 2 guys in the lineup? I think that it's possible that the Broncos could. I think it's not possible that the Patriots are able to win without Rob Gronkowski. As good as Tom Brady is, he's one of the top 5 quarterbacks of all time, and so is Peyton Manning. I think they need Rob Gronkowski to be successful. I think for the Broncos, if they had lost Eric Decker or someone like that, then this would have been even bigger. Luckily, well, I shouldn't say luckily, but losing Willis McGahee, Peyton Manning succeeded without a running game before. And the one other thing I want to say about the Patriots is the difference they have this year is they have a better running game with Stephen Ridley, who has really had a solid season. Prior to this season, they really haven't had a great runner there since Corey Dillon was there, and that's been 7 or 8 years. So to have that running attack, that may be what holds them over while Rob Gronkowski's out. Certainly, though, they will need Gronkowski back. I'll see you guys later.
Just a little ways around the corner from fear. Be there.